channel QERT, and today we are here to discuss about what is data engineering. Yeah, I am going to start a new video series where I'll explain everyone that what is data engineering, how it's work. I mean, end-to-end process, what is inside it, why we should learn this, the total data engineer. We are going to discuss it so that the new learners who want to come into this field they can understand this very easily. So let's start today's video. So I'll give you a structure of data engineering, what we do as a data engineer. So let's start our discussing. So suppose you have a application or website, okay, or sometime you browse data in the internet, right? So that time you must visit a website that can be anything like www.qert.com or something like that. Okay, now you are visiting this website. This website is running on a server. Okay, who is not from the technology field, so think like it is running on a computer. Okay, which has the same thing like RAM, memory, okay, those type of thing, basic understanding. Okay, so it is this uh, website particularly running on a server, or for you it's running on a computer. Okay, so now when someone visit in this website, it generates some data. That can be any type of data, but for now we'll take some example like suppose you are visiting there, it can take your name like Rami, okay, and it can take your date of birth like 3/12/2000, okay, and it can have your location details like from Kolkata, then other details like anything. I mean, lots of detail it can, you can provide it. Okay, so lots of details like that. Now think like you have visited a sell website where product they sell products. Okay, so uh, they will take you take information of what product you are buying, like some service you are buying. Okay, then the price of that, then who is selling you, sales, seller, seller details. Okay, then can be seller ID, name, product. So every details will be there, right? It will get generated. So now the data got generated. Now how it will process further. So before starting that, we are going to discuss about some data types. So there is basically three types of data getting generated. I mean, get generated every day. That is structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. So what is structured data? What is semi-structured data? What is unstructured data? So basically, there is data like CSV for an example. So we'll call this structured data because it is easily readable by a human. It will be in a table and row format. Uh, to know this better, I am sure you guys already have an idea how Excel looks like, right? So CSV looks kind of like that. So this is a comma separated value. Okay. So yeah, it will be a structured data. And semi-structured data is unstructured data. I mean, a human can read this, but it's not too easy to read. So for to give you an example about this, so JSON is a semi-structured data. So if you look into this, here we have data like name, age, hobbies, city. So we have the uh, attributes and the value. But it is readable, of course, it is readable, but not so easily, right? So this is called semi-structured data, and one of the example is JSON. JSON files are semi-structured data. Now we come to unstructured data. What is unstructured data? So we know we have image, video, PDF files. So those are the example of unstructured data. So why I am telling you these things? Okay. So basically, what happened when you browse this particular URL or this website being created, their CSV, I mean structured data also sometimes get generated. Then JSON, that means semi-structured data also get generated, and unstructured data also get generated. Okay. Now this data gets saved, suppose different databases. Okay. So for structured data, we'll save this in different RDB messages. You maybe you have heard about RDB messages. That is basically, so you must have heard about RDB messages. So that is basically MySQL, SQL Server. Those are the RDB messages, and this type of storage system, I mean databases, keep the keep the structured data in a table format. Okay. So this get data, when these data sets are getting generated, it will directly come into RDBMS servers. I mean, you can say databases. Where we have databases, it will come there directly. It will come there directly. Then, so we'll call this OLTP system. Those are OLTP system. So online transaction processing system. So it is very good at storing the data. I mean, large amount of data, very large amount of data. It can store very easily. Okay, but we have a OLAP system also. We'll discuss about that later. It store very large amount of structured data in the table format, which is getting generated in this from this website. Now, sometimes semi-structured data also get generated. So this got saved in different type of semi-structured, I mean databases which store semi-structured data like uh, MongoDB. MongoDB is a database. Then in AWS cloud service we have DynamoDB. DynamoDB. So those are the databases for semi-structured data. Then we have for unstructured data, we have like S3 bucket. This is a storage system. What is S3 bucket? It's like you have hard disks in your laptop, right? So it's where you save all the files. So it is a storage like that, but in a bigger, large volume data it can store there. And it is a cloud-based platform, AWS. It is under the one of the service of AWS. Okay, so different type of data can get stored in different type of databases. Okay, now we got the data. Okay, now we need to, so what I was saying, what we need to do in this data, we need to do analysis. What we'll do basically on the data, I mean, what is the use case? Doing basic analysis, clean up the data, transform wherever required. Because first and most important rule, always keep in your mind that data always going to be messy. Data will never get a clean data. You have to clean up the data. Raw data means a big mess. Okay, that's the reason world needs need a data engineer like us. Okay, so clean up their data. Otherwise, that data will make no sense. If your data is not cleaned, that will not make any sense to the business user or the machine learning developer or anyone. Okay, they will not be able to use that data at all. So now, as a data engineer, what is your work? Now raw data got saved in this databases. Okay, now they want to do an analysis on this data, but this platform is not good enough. I mean, this oltp systems or even mongodb dynamodb or s3 is not good enough supposed to uh, do the analysis, okay, on it. So now you have to move this data to a analytical platform where analyzing those data will be most easier, more easier. So for that we have a OLAP system, OLAP system, online analytical analysis processing. I'm forgetting the full form, but something like online anal analysis. We have OLAP system, OLAP. So the full form is online analytical processing. So basically we have to move the data from OLTP system. I'm just giving you an example of OLTP system. Okay, OLTP system, which was maybe MySQL server for an example. Let's take MySQL. Now you will move the data to Snowflake. Let's take the example. Now you have to prepare a pipeline. You have to build a pipeline to move the data, terabytes or maybe petabytes of data, which get generated every day. That is being stored in MySQL. Now you have to move that into Snowflake SQL, where it will be easier for you to analyze those data, preparing the presentation, building machine learning models. So this system will help you with that. So now here you are here, you have to bring the data here. How you will do that? So you will prepare a pipeline, data pipeline. You will prepare a data pipeline. You will use ELT process. So ELT process is extract the data. So we'll extract the data from this database, then load the data. Then we'll load the data into this database. And as I informed you, the data is always messy, raw data. So we'll do the transformation on that raw data after reaching here, when the data will reach here. Okay. So now how we'll move the data. So this is a data engineer job. They need to know how to move the data. They basically use different type of tools or technologies here. So who is comfortable with AWS, they use a Glue. Who is comfortable with Azure, they use Data Factory. Maybe in some people will use Informatica. So there's lots of tools and technologies available, okay, to migrate the data to one place to another. Who is comfortable with Airflow? So they will use Airflow. Okay. Now all this, basically there is two languages. I mean, one language very advanced to do the data engineering job, data related job, data analytics, machine learning building, AI building. So that language is named as Python. So why Python? Python is very advanced language. Okay. You have to learn the Python if you want to be a data engineer. And honestly, guys, let me tell you, this is not hard. If this was hard, then how I learned this? I mean, I was not very good and very special student at all. I was a general student like you guys. My background, if you know, you know. I just learned it. How? Because this was easy to learn compared to other languages, and it is very advanced, widely used. So we have to learn this language to do transfer the data from here to this location using the by building the pipeline. So basically we will in to build the pipeline will utilize Python. Okay. So for small kind of data to move here or there. So basically what happened, we don't only move the data from OLTP to Snowflake, maybe there can be different other sources like API. Okay, SharePoint, you have some data, different different producer can be there. I mean, producer who where data get generated or who generate the data. Okay, and where we transfer data, that is called consumer. Okay, so they are the target location and these are the source location. There is there can be lots more, but I'm just giving you the example. Okay, so to load the small amount of data like few GBs of data, MBs of data from API to Snowflake, we can utilize Python. But what about the large chunk of data? I mean, where the data is very big, what we'll do in that case, right? We have to process that data also. I mean, terabytes of data. But if you want to utilize Python with terabytes of data, forget it. That's not going to happen. So, so our seniors, our leaders built one more thing, that is Spark, to process the big data, the terabytes of data every day. Spark plus Python can process terabytes of data every day. So when there is the data is small, we can easily utilize Python. But the when data is big, we will utilize PySpark. Python plus Spark is PySpark. So PySpark is basically distributed processing system, but we'll talk about that in other video. So I have a series for PySpark. You can go ahead and check out. That will give you a great learning how PySpark process the data. But yeah, either using Python or PySpark will prepare the ETL pipeline. Okay. Now after preparing the pipeline, we'll load the data here in the Snowflake. Suppose this was the columns. Okay. in here. So I'll remove these examples. So suppose this data was available here. Okay, I'll write it like this way: customer data, sales data, seller slash employee data. Okay, and then product data. Everything got generated here, right? Now using EL, extract and transform, we'll extract it from MySQL and then load. EL, extract and load. In load, we will prepare the data pipeline, ETL process using PySpark or Python. Then we will load the tables here in Snowflake. So this is the basic job, the 50%. This cover the 50% job of a data engineer. Okay. Now, what is after that? What is other 50%? Now your tables, I mean, the tables was presented in the MySQL or any other sources of data. For example, maybe semi-structured data also will pull into the Snowflake. Then unstructured data also will pull into the Snowflake. Data from API, differentiator point will pull into Snowflake. I'm giving just a MySQL as an example. We'll prepare the pipeline and pull the data here. Okay. So after pulling the data here, now we have to prepare. So it is like become a data lake for you. Data lake. So what is data lake? Data lake is like your storeroom in your house. So you have a house, there you have a storeroom where you put all the things. I mean, all the things you put in the storeroom, right? You don't arrange that properly. Whatever you have, you just throw that there in the storeroom. But if you want to use that, you have to convert that and organize that. So we have data warehouse. So in data warehouse, so the example of data warehouse will be what example I'll give? Library. So data warehouse is kind of library. So where everything is organized. Okay. So suppose you have the data in Snowflake, data lake. Now you will prepare the data warehouse. Here you will organize the tables. Okay. Now in a single table, okay, you had all this data. Suppose the table name was orders. Okay, in order table, suppose I'm just giving an example. Okay, sometime happen MySQL itself, you will get the dimension table at fact table. I mean separated data. But for giving you an example, now you have data lake, you have these tables. Okay, in an order table. Now you will prepare dimension tables and fact table. I mean, you will organize the data. What is dimension table? So in a table, if you have this data, I mean customer date of birth, name, place, etc., etc., sales data. I mean what price data thing got sale quantity, date, seller who sell that product, what was the employee ID, how many product they have sold, then product related data, what was the product category, subcategory, every data was here, right, in a single table. Now you will prepare by using that, you will prepare multiple tables like dimension tables. Okay, dimension table, suppose now from here you will create suppose 4 dimension table. So from one table you will create one dimension table, dim customer data. Then you will create another dimension table for dim employee data or seller data. Then you will prepare product data dim, product, okay. And for the table which we have the financials, basically, okay, the entity tables which is related to particular item or per entity, that will generate dimension tables. But the table which is related to the fact, I mean, the columns which you can aggregate and use for financial purposes, that table will come under fact table. That data will come under factors. So like you have the sales tables, right? So you will create a fact cell table. Okay. Now this way you will organize your data in the data warehouse. Okay. After organizing this, now your work almost done. Now the business, I mean data analyst team or BI report team, they will prepare a PBI report on it, Power BI report on it. Machine learning user will use this table which you have created. Then they will deploy models. I mean on this, and then AI people, AI developers can utilize this data to build their AI models. So that's how the whole process run basically for data engineering process. So yeah, that was today's lesson. I just wanted to give you a basic idea how data engineering process work basically. Okay, so this was our discussion. Before ending the session, I'll just give you an example of data engineering in our real life scenario. So we have lots of water in Ganges, right? Our river Ganga. So we cannot directly pull that data in our home and we can use that, right? So suppose here we stay in our home and we get the water every day, and that data is coming from Ganges or Ganga. Okay, now in the middle they will prepare different sources, I mean different places where they will put the water in the tank, and then keep processing that water. I mean, filtering that data. I mean, water. So suppose in the middle we have two two tanks. Okay, two or three tanks. Okay, one is bronze tank. Okay, there the raw data will be consumed. I mean, raw water from the Ganges will get consumed in the bronze tank. Then they will process the data, some cleanup like duplicate, I mean uh, for data it is duplicate removal or simple basic thing can be done there. Okay, then for water it is basic cleanup, then it will put that into silver tank. Okay, now when they are moving this that data to silver tank, that is clean data, but still there is some bacteria or any other thing, so they have another tank just before the water reach to you, that is gold tank. Okay, in the gold tank they will remove that bacteria, aggregate, I mean for data they will do the aggregation and all. Okay, then it will reach to you, the water reach to your house. You will drink that water or use that water for other works. That's up to you what you will prepare for data. You will prepare the PBI report or a ML model or AI development. That's on you. That's on business user, of course. So I just wanted to give you this example that was coming in my mind. So yeah, this was the whole process I want to discuss with you. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and help us to grow our family. I want to help those guys who is from the background where I belonged one time, and yeah, they also. I just want to help them to grow in their career also. That's it.